today's lesson will work on our intermediate course, and here Unit 8, third part, 8.3, vocabulary and skills development. We'll learn a lot of new words and improve our other skills. Our goals here are recognize changing sounds in linker words, use prefixes, listening and speaking, sound changes. Exercise 1, work with a partner, look at the photos of Icelandic culture and answer the questions. Pause the video, try to answer these questions in a written form. And now, if you have finished, let's check the answers. 1. What do you think each photo tells us about Iceland? The first photo perhaps illustrates that children learn crafts in school. And the second photo shows people bathing in hot springs. The third photo shows that people leave prams outside. This may illustrate safety. It's not clear if the babies are left in the prams or not. Question 2, would you see the same thing in your country? Definitely not, people. It's not cold in our country. Well, it can be cold sometimes in winter, but it's not that cold as in Iceland. And we never leave prams outside because there's a little bit chance that it gets stolen, as people are quite well. How do you say this word? People are not cultured, or people are not law obedient that much as in Iceland, because Iceland is like one of the best countries for happiness level, for every single indicator. So we have a long way to go to reach that level that Iceland has reached already. Exercise 2. Read and listen to the information in the Unlock the Code box. Unlock the code. Changing sounds when we link words. Speaking at natural speed, we often change the last sound of a word to make it easier to say the words together. For example, when one word ends in sounds t or d, and the next word starts with sounds such as b, p, k, j, m, listening to natural speech, these changes can make groups of words more difficult to understand. Written form would be would, move, and natural sound would be would move. And written form is that, place, and natural speed will be that place. Exercise 3. Listen to the phrases, underline the sound that changes.
Audio 8.5. 1. Red pram. 2.
Could be.
3. White coffee. 4.
Mild coffee.
5. Should go. 6.
Coal metal.
7. Hot pepper. 8.
Hot milk.
Exercise 4A. Listen to the first part of a podcast and complete the text with 2 words in each gap.
Audio 8.6.
If you could pick anywhere in the world to live, where would you go? Iceland might not be the most obvious choice, but I don't regret moving here. I came to study earth science at the University of Iceland. Iceland has volcanoes, glaciers, and earthquakes. What can't you see here? I came to study the natural world, but I stayed in Iceland because I love the way of life.
And now, if you have finished, let's check the answers together. If you could go anywhere in the world to live, where would you go? Iceland might be the most obvious choice, but I don't regret moving here. I came to study earth science at the University of Iceland. Iceland has volcanoes, glaciers, and earthquakes. What can't you see here? I came to study the natural world, but I stayed in Iceland because I love the way of life. Exercise 4B. Listen to the rest of the podcast and answer the questions.
Audio 8.7.
There was a bit of culture shock at first. I was surprised at just how much time people spend outdoors. People are close to nature in a way that many other countries have forgotten, and even when the temperatures are freezing, people love getting out into the fresh air. Look outside any cafe, and you're likely to see lots of babies sleeping outside in prams. Icelanders believe that the cold, fresh air could be good for their health and helps them sleep better. And no one worries about their safety. Crime rates are very low indeed. I also found it hard to get used to the way that time seems to have no meaning here. If friends arrange to meet between 7:30 and 8, you'd better not be surprised if they don't turn up until about 9:30. At first, this used to drive me mad. I thought people were being really rude. Gradually, though, I realised that it wasn't rudeness. People just don't worry about punctuality the way we do at home. The education system is much more relaxed too. There isn't the same emphasis on tests and exams. In primary school, children spend a lot of time playing outside and learning practical skills such as knitting. But they are still very highly educated in the end, and apparently 1 in 10 Icelanders is a published author. The food took a bit of getting used to as well. There are some dishes I had to be persuaded to try, like sheep's head or shark. But my husband, Gustav, is such a good cook that he can make most things taste nice.
And now let's check the answers together. 1. Why do Icelanders leave their babies outside to sleep? Because Icelanders believe that the cold, fresh air is good for their baby's health and helps them sleep better. 2. What Icelandic habit used to make Julia feel annoyed? It is time seems to have no meaning and people are often very late. 3. What did Julia discover Icelandic people don't worry about? Icelandic people don't worry about punctuality. 4. What skill do 10% of Icelanders have? 10% of Icelanders have written a book. 5. Why does Julia now enjoy Icelandic food? Her husband Gustav is a great cook and can make most things taste nice. Exercise 5. Work in small groups and discuss the questions. Pause the video, answer these questions in a written form. And now let's check the possible answers together. 1. How do you think life in Iceland would be different from life in your country? Well, it's totally different because people are conscious about punctuality, and I don't like this habit of Icelanders because, well, when you said like you'd meet at some time, you should come there and you shouldn't waste others' time. You should have respect for other people's times. And as usual, as you see, ordinarily it's very cold country, and our people never would leave their babies outside because they just are worried, afraid that someone would touch them, or even like they get like ill because now it's just different times in our the whole world because of coronavirus, and people are quite worried. And well, second question 2. Do you think you would enjoy living in Iceland? Why not? I would enjoy living in Iceland because I quite like cold weather. And the second thing is I like natural scenes, and Iceland is like a perfect place to see such scenes. Vocabulary, prefixes. Exercise 6. Read an online article about culture shock. What 4 different stages can you identify? What stage do you think Julia is at? Pause the video, answer these questions in a written form. And now, if you have finished, let's check the answers. The 4 stages are as follows. 1. The country seems exciting, different, and fascinating. 2. Life seems frustrating and you experience difficulties. 3. This is a period of adjustment in which your sense of humor returns. 4. You feel enthusiastic and enjoy living in that culture. And Julie is probably at the final stage because she describes each detail very clearly, and at the end it's very positive. Exercise 7. Look at the highlighted words in the article and match the meaning of each prefix to the definitions below. Vocabulary focus. Prefixes. Prefixes are a group of letters that add to the beginning of the word to change the meaning of the word. For example, miss is do badly, misjudge, misbehave. do again, replace, rearrange. In, not, inactive, inconvenient, over, too much, overpriced, overspent. Exercise 8. Use the prefixes ra, under, over, or miss and the words in the brackets to complete the sentences. Check your answers with a partner. Pause the video and fill the gaps on your own in a written form. And now, if you have finished, let's check the answers together. 1. In the summer, north of the Arctic Circle, it stays light 24 hours a day. The stars stop coming out at night and don't reappear until August. 2. If you move to a very different culture, people may easily misunderstand your behavior. 3. I haven't got a lot of money this month, so I'll have to be careful I don't overspend. 4. I used to wear very smart suits to the office, but people here are much more informal and even wear jeans to work. 5. The flight had to be rescheduled due to the bad weather. We arrived back a day late. 6. Parents can be very embarrassed if their children misbehave in public. Exercise 9A. Task. Think about an interesting place you have been to. Use the questions below to prepare a short talk about it. Use at least 3 words with prefixes, and here questions are: what is interesting about the place? What facts do you know about the place? What might you choose to move there? And what things about the culture might be very different from your own? Pause the video and try to answer these questions. Try to prepare a short talk on your own in a written form. Exercise 9B. Talk for about 2 minutes about the place. Listen to your partner's talk and ask at least 2 questions about the place. That's the end of our today's lesson. See you in the next lessons.